your girl again, and today I just want to do a quick video about inventory. Inventory seems to be the scariest thing when you're trying to start up an eBay or Amazon company because you have to spend money and time acquiring it. And a lot of people just don't know where to go or what to look for. So today we're going to talk about where to go. I've made a list on my dry erase board. This isn't an all-encompassing list, but it's some ideas that I think would get you a really good start, and it's all I could think of off the top of my head right now. So here we go. Inventory, where do you go? Well, the first place, the most obvious, is garage sales. Garage sales can be great for getting low-cost items, and if you live in a warmer state, pretty much you can go garage selling year-round, and you can hit as many garage sales as you want Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that is where you're going to get the highest profit margin because you buy things so low, and if they're a good product, you can sell it at normal price and have that huge profit margin for yourself. Another place is thrift stores, your Goodwills, there's mom and pops, there's Hope Chest, there's different ones, but you can, American Red Cross, but you can go to them. You just have to be mindful that some stores like Goodwill, they have eBay stores now too. So they've upped their prices and they also sell online. So it's not as good of a profit margin or prices as it used to be. But you can still find some great vintage items. You can still find some new in the box items to sell at Amazon. There's still profit to be made, so don't count them out. And look for the smaller stores that aren't as savvy as Goodwill. Estate sales, I love estate sales. It's probably my favorite. Estate sales are where a person in the family has passed away or been sent to a nursing home, and most times their house and everything in it is for sale. So these older people have a lifetime of vintage goods in their house. And depending on who's selling it, if it's a company that the family has hired, the prices are higher, they're less negotiable, but still they'll do like 50% off the last days and still you find good finds. But the best are when the family and the friends are putting on the estate sale and everything is going for $1 or $5, and I find amazing things at estate sales. So that's how I fill up a lot on my eBay vintage store. Auctions. Most towns have local auctions. The key to that is to go ahead of time and browse the items and write down what you want to buy or what you're interested in and the prices that you're willing to pay. Keeping in mind that 3 times margin. You don't want to double your money, you want to 3 times it. And that's a great cutoff point. Once you reach that point that you start to diminish your profit margin, not to bid anymore, because you're going to get caught up in the moment of the bids and you don't want to do that. Storage units, just like on TV, just not as glamorous. Storage units can be fun. Sometimes you can buy the whole unit, which means you get a lot of inventory, and that's terrific. Sometimes they have garage sales at storage units, and I love those because it's like hitting 50 garage sales in one place, so it's very it's not very time consuming. So I like storage unit sales, and you can find several in your area. Flea markets. They have a variety of goods. They have new items in the box. They have items that are vintage. They have more garage sale items. They have clothing. So don't discount your local flea market. Craigslist online. You can look online. I would suggest doing that every weekly and find some items that you might be interested in. A recent example is I bought thinker boxes. I happen to have one right here. I bought thinker boxes on Craigslist. I bought 75 of them for less than $50. At Target, they go for $12 for 6. So that was a really good price, and you could see they're almost new. It was from an attorney's office, and he was going all electronic and selling his boxes. So my father actually was browsing Craigslist and found those for me. So I would look every week at Craigslist, get your family involved, if anybody finds a good deal, to call you up so that you can take advantage of that. Antique stores. Antique stores, just like any other place on this board, sometimes you'll walk in and things will be really expensive. And you notice right away, you might scan a couple of items or enter it in your phone and realize there's there's just no profit to be made because the prices are so high. I see that at garage sales too, where you go and you think, this is a garage sale, these prices are crazy. Don't waste your time. Just turn around and leave, because there will be other antique stores, other garage sales, other estate sales that have cheap prices, and you're gonna find ones that are gold mines, and you're gonna find ones that aren't. So just don't waste your time, but don't discount. So many people don't even go to antique stores because they think they're just so expensive, but honestly, they're not. They're not all created equal. eBay to Amazon. Some people make it a living just buying on other forums like eBay and then turning right around and reselling it on Amazon. And you can work that retail arbitrage, that discrepancy from the eBay marketplace. It's kind of considered more of a garage sale, less pricey forum. And you can find deals on that you use to your advantage, and you turn around and sell them on Amazon or Amazon FBA, where you can get a higher price point on those items. And that happens a lot, not just Amazon, eBay to Amazon. Sometimes it can be in reverse. Sometimes it's completely other marketplaces. But just to give you an idea. Marts. There are all kinds of marts. There are home marts and vintage marts and book marts and sports marts, and I don't know what you will have in your area, but kind of look around and be aware that there are places called marts. And these marts typically have wholesale prices for whatever items that they're selling. And so you can find really good deals at marts. I find more marts up north than I do down south, but maybe there's some in your area. Retail clearance. Most retail arbitrageurs use this. They use your Targets, your Walmarts, your any retail store out there, and they find items that are on sale or really deep clearance, and they bring their smartphone and their app and they price it out, and they realize that they can triple their money, and they buy everything that's on the shelf in that item, and they ship it all off in bulk to Amazon. That's a great way to get inventory. It's very fast. The products are in good condition. They're brand new from a retail store. You're just taking advantage of the price differences. So that is retail arbitrage at its finest. Wholesale distribution. These you can find online. There are wholesalers that sell everything, and you go directly to the source. You go directly to the wholesalers and say, I have a few online stores. I'm interested in selling your product, and try to establish a relationship with them. The same can be said with overstock companies. Overstock.com is one, but there's hundreds out there. Find an overstock company that retail stores send their surplus to, the items that they don't want anymore, and a lot of times you can get 50, 75% off of retail prices and turn around and resell it for full retail. Government surplus. That's a great way to find things. All those things that people get confiscated as they're walking onto the airplane. You can buy boxes of pocket knives, and I'm sure there are various conditions, so it might be more of an eBay sale, but you can get a box just filled with 500 pocket knives, and it auctions off on these government surplus sites. So you can try to be highest bidder and get 500 pocket knives that you sell individually. Drop ships. Drop shipments are where you arrange for items, you purchase items, and you arrange for them to be sent directly to an Amazon warehouse, for example. So basically, you're buying items on your computer, and you're never seeing them. They're going from one place to another, and you've purchased your inventory and sold your inventory and never touched it or laid eyes on it. So there are books written about drop shipments, but for our discussion today, you just need to know that they exist. Trade shows. Trade shows are all across the world, internationally and here in the U.S. So it's a fun way to take a trip to Vegas and attend a trade show. Normally you'll have to show that you have a business. You have to have your tax ID numbers and your cards, and you'll need to be all professional-like. But you establish relationships with wholesalers or different companies at these trade shows, and find ways to get inventory and get it at good prices that you feel that you can make your profit margin on to sell on Amazon. Secondhand stores, I know that they're kind of like thrift stores, but what I mean here are your clothing places like Plato's Closet, for example. Plato's Closet, I don't know if you have one, but it's a clothing store that sells name brand clothes only. So it's really popular for college kids because they get all stylish and name brand clothes and purses and shoes and earrings, but at a fraction of the cost. Well, you can also shop at Plato's Closet or places like it, secondhand stores that aren't as cheap as thrift stores. They're not as expensive, but their items are a lot better. So you're only getting name brand, really neat items, but for less price that you can try to make a profit on. Outlet malls. Most stores have an outlet store, and sometimes they make whole malls out of all outlet stores, so they're called an outlet mall. So if you're, for example, Bell's has an outlet mall, so they send all the stuff that they didn't sell at their regular store, they send to their outlet store at 50 to 70% off. And then you shop at the outlet store, and then you can turn around and resell it. They're still new in the package, everything's perfect about them, they just didn't sell or they were seasonal, and you can take advantage of that. And last but not least, creating your own. This is what I'm striving to do right now, because if you are creating your own item, it can make you money once you stop creating it. For example, if you wanted to make an ebook, you would spend time and energy making an ebook for a couple of months, but that ebook would be making you money for the rest of your life, and it doesn't require any more work from you. So there's no, it doesn't cost you anything but time and effort. Right now, I would love, as a homeschooling mom, I would love to create an inventory, a curriculum that I can sell, and that would be my inventory, is my very own curriculum. So I'm not having to buy it from someone. I don't have to invest any startup money in my own curriculum. I would create it, and it would keep making me money long after I've created it. So essentially, that is a great way to add inventory to your stores. So this is a few examples. I hope it helps you, get thinking about some places that you can acquire inventory so it's not so scary. You need to just make a list and check out what you have locally and within maybe an hour driving distance, and just start checking some of these places out. So until our next video, I'll talk to you later.